And hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. So tonight we're going to be reviewing Forgetting Sarah Marshall, and I actually have Jamie from in the front row. She's going to be with me. So guess what, guys? Grab your towels and get ready to dive into the comedic, complicated world of Peter, Sarah, and the gang. We're here to dissect every hilarious mishap, cringeworthy moment with Russell Brand one-liners in the rom-com gym. So whether you're a Dracula puppet enthusiast, a fan of Hawaiian vampire rock operas, or just a dire need of a laugh, you find your comedic safe haven. Join us as we dissect this movie one giggle at a time. And remember, if life gives you lemons, take a pina colada and hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, let's go on ahead. Let's do this. I'm excited to have Jamie here, and let's do it. Hey, Jamie, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you? I love that intro.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Where's your pina colada, though?
I
I
know.
mean, we're talking
Oh,
about Hawaiian here. As a matter of fact, I don't even have my Hawaiian shirt or anything either. So, I'm actually out of costume for that.
I was trying to think of like one-liners that I could use to open, to start this stream with you. And then I was like, every single one is inappropriate. I was like, we could say like we're inside of you and start singing inside of you. And then I
Well,
was
I was
like,
going to
wait,
say,
no, we
well, when
can't do
life
that.
gives you lemons, just say fuck the lemons. But,
Well, I didn't know whether we should swear or I don't know. I'll
this
just
is
go
an
fuck
R-rated
myself.
movie. Yeah.
Oh, I love it so much. Anyway,
All
hi.
right.
I'll start
Hi,
with
how are
hi,
you?
something normal.
It's good to have you over here, Jamie. It's been a while. Last time you were over here, we did our Last of Us review and everything for that panel. It was a pleasure to have you there for that.
Yeah, that was fun.
So today we're actually going to be reviewing Forgetting Sarah Marshall. This movie had a budget of $30 million and made $105.8 million at the box office. And this movie is about a composer named Peter Britter. He is a 5-year relationship with actress Sarah Marshall, who stars in a CSI live television show titled Crime Scene of the Crime. One day, as Peter stands stark naked in their apartment, Sarah abruptly announces that she is breaking up with him. So, what did you think of the opening scene with that? Because this is your first time watching it. And I remember I was dating someone at my workplace, seeing this movie for the first time, and I just cracked up laughing through this whole entire thing.
Yeah, same. Oh, I did not like. I know it was R-rated, and I was expecting the funny comedy, but I wasn't expecting like a full frontal D in my face in like the first few seconds. I'm very glad that nobody was around when I was watching it. That's for sure. Because I was like, oh, is this one of those movies? Should I be watching this after like 10 p.m.? Nah, just joking.
Right.
Yeah, it was funny. It was so 2000s, wasn't it? It came out in the 2000s, right? It felt like it came out in the
Yeah, it
2000s.
came out in 2008.
Yeah. Yeah, so the comedy was very set for that time frame. And it's very me. Like the dumb one-liners, just all of it. The nudity. It's so me.
Right?
I loved it. It was great. But yeah, I did feel very, very sad for Peter. I'm probably jumping ahead there. So what was the question?
I
That
was just
first
asking you, like, what was your first thoughts on the opening scene itself? I mean, I know that you were pretty much shocked because you weren't expecting to get that from Jason Segel coming out of the gate.
I was definitely shocked. I was not expecting full frontal D. Oh gosh. I'm not complaining. I enjoy full frontal D, but yeah, I definitely wasn't expecting it.
You see, I remember in theaters whenever that first happened, and everybody was surprised by that, you know?
So you watched this in
And
the cinemas, did you?
yeah, I did. I watched this in the theaters, and I still remember everybody being shocked over the fact that they saw full frontal nudity. And then, especially whenever he's over there crossing his legs, stuff like that too, and he drops the pillow, and then there's that, and then you can see everything still. And it was like, oh my god! I was like, please put the pillow back on.
Oh
But I also
gosh.
like how
Okay.
Peter's over there cleaning up the apartment for Sarah,
Yeah.
and he's trying to pick up his pigsty,
Yeah, shoving it all in
and
the cupboard.
right, and then and as that's playing, Elvis Snow is actually on TV singing a song. And I like how he goes, "How can you if you're blind, how can you see?"
It's just so dumb.
It,
Oh,
but some artists are like that though, where they want to be having that deeper meaning and message in their songs to the point that
yeah,
where they want to sound like they're smart, but they're really
but
dumb.
they're really not. Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
That's where I got the vibe from Russell Brand for that role for Elvis
yeah,
Snow. I think that he embodies Elvis Snow. I love the character of Elvis Snow and stuff like that too because of the things he does and stuff. I think it was hilarious. It was just settled. It was like
yeah,
over the top, like we would see with Arthur or any of the other movies he's done.
yeah. He's supposed to be like a really smart guy, but he always plays these like really dumb and silly roles, doesn't he?
He does.
It's
But
really funny. I like him.
then you also have Billy Baldwin, who's playing in this like CSI kind of vibe though too, in this crime scene thing, which I thought was hilarious because, well, if he doesn't have a penis, then how can he screw or something like that? And then all of a sudden you hear the dramatic music play,
Yeah.
and I just thought it was hilarious because I cannot stand CSI. I can't stand any of those shows, and it just shows
Really?
I'm not a big CSI person or NCIS.
Oh gosh.
I think they're a little too cheesy for me. I don't know. It's just like it's like over the top dialogue. But I just thought it was hilarious to see Billy and them do that dialogue. I just thought that was really good.
Yeah. Yep. Same.
But yeah, then Sarah winds up telling him, "Look, Peter, we need to talk." Because what do you mean we need to talk? What's going on? And he goes, and of course he just got out of the shower because he's feeling good. He thinks that he might be getting some though too.
He's getting lucky and he's getting unlucky.
Right? And he
Poor
also does
Pete.
that little chest thing where like Terry Crews does. And then Sarah's at the apartment, ooh, I got a surprise for you. And of course, that's where we have the little frontal nudity
The
with this.
towel, yeah.
Yeah. And she goes, here, we need to talk. What do you mean? What's going on? I'm breaking up. We need to break up. All of a sudden, the towel just drops. And
I love that. Please just hold me.
I think the reason why you're breaking up with me is because we forgot how to hold each other. I think if we hold each other, you might remember.
Please just hold me. Oh god, that got me good.
Do you feel anything? No. No, that sucks. but and then he goes, I like how she tells Peter, put your towel back on. No, because if I put my towel back on, that means
it's
that
really
we're breaking
over.
up.
Yeah. Oh gosh, it's so stupid, isn't it?
But not really though, because I understand what he's saying. Because in the past, he doesn't know that she's breaking up with him, so therefore he's still happy because he thinks that he's going to get some, so therefore he's going to have the towel on him. But if he removes the towel, that just means that they broke up. It's like I just thought it was funny.
It is the logic. Oh gosh.
But yeah, devastated and unable to banish his grief through one night stands, Peter, against the advice of his stepbrother and his best friend Brian, takes a trip to Hawaii and stays at Turtle Bay Resort. Now, I like it whenever he goes on ahead, and first he goes over to the doctor, who's a pediatrician. His doc.
That was so good. He's like, something's wrong with my D. Look at my D. And he has a quick glance. That was a quick look. What's wrong with it?
He's like,
it's a great D, Peter. It's a great D. So stupid.
He's like, screw anything that moves.
You're sitting at
just wear a condom.
You're sitting in a pediatric doctor's chair. Have a look at the fire truck you're sitting on.
You see kids. You see the kids running around.
Oh, it's so bad. Far out.
And he goes, "Oh yeah, the truck is new."
Oh, I love it.
Then he's sleeping with these one night stands. There's this one person that's like, I came. I'm like, what? And then there's this one person who goes, hi. Can we stop doing that?
Yeah, can you stop saying hi?
Right? And just, well, you can gag me if you want. Oh, okay. Because, but
do you want to gag me? Well, now I kind of do. Yeah.
Right. But I like the back and forth between his stepbrother and him too. because he doesn't want to be at that club or anything. Because I swear, I think I got an STD just by sitting here.
Sitting on the couch.
That's
Yeah.
what he tells me.
Yeah, it was like I think I just got herpes just by sitting on this couch. Oh,
And then,
crap.
you know, like I was, he goes, and then the girls were like, "Well, what do you do, Peter?" He goes, "Oh, I just work on a TV show." And then his brother's like, "He's really trying to be a wingman here." It's like he's being modest. He works for a little crime show. Oh, okay, I like that show. And he goes, "Yeah, I just got out of a 5-year relationship. I'm not looking for anything serious. I just want to screw." And then he goes, "So, you want to come home?"
I love that she did too. Like, oh my God.
Right?
The realities, the true realities of men and women.
Exactly. But yeah, then of course you get that same wave with Peter and his brother, where basically he goes, "I can't go anywhere without thinking of her. You see this container right here?"
She gave me this cereal container.
Because she
It's
knows
my
I leave my cereal
in.
box open because it's steel. Hey Jojo, how are you?
Too funny, too funny.
And so I gotta go. I'm gonna go to Hawaii. That's a bad idea, Peter. That's a bad idea. Why? Why is it a bad idea? Because Sarah always talked about Hawaii. No, it's a bad idea, Peter. Why? Because Sarah Marshall thought of Hawaii, so I can't go. So and then he tries to delete the pictures. He's not even deleted the pictures properly. His brother winds up going into a confrontation with him, and he deletes the pictures. And then you see it cut into being in Hawaii. And then this is where we actually get to see where the movie's going to be taking place in. But what did you think the initial setup with this is? Where you're trying to get away from your ex, so you go to a romantic resort to get away from your ex. Then you go. You don't even have a hotel in mind either.
Yeah.
You're just going there
Just winging
hoping
it.
that somebody would take you in.
Yeah, just completely winging it. Yeah, it's
And,
definitely not logical, is it? He's definitely not thinking in the right frame of mind. But I mean, maybe some people are like that, you know, like after a breakup, they just want to do something completely adventurous or, you know, especially a 5-year one. Like that's quite a long time, you know, like they probably just, I mean, I'm just trying to justify Peter here. But you know, some people in life probably just want to do something completely different, you know, from the routine that or the comfort zone that they were in that relationship. Maybe I don't know.
well,
I wouldn't do it.
No, I would not go to Hawaii at all. That's a romantic resort. You're getting married. People are getting married every single day. It's a depressing place if you just broke up with somebody.
If you're single, yeah,
right,
for sure.
I remember whenever matter of fact, this movie actually got me through my 4 year. Whenever I went through some stuff with my ex and stuff like that too. But I didn't go to Hawaii. I just went to the movies or something to get away from my problem. You know,
and you threw out that cereal container, didn't you, John?
Yeah, you know it. I just couldn't get rid of the cereal container because that's what she bought me, and my cereal would go stale if I didn't. Yeah, that's what it was. Matter of fact, I still have it. But no, but I do like the chemistry between Mila Kunis and Peter. I think that between him and Rachel is really good. Especially whenever he comes in there, he goes, "Well, do you have a reservation?" "No, I don't. I just thought I would just come over here and see what's up." And she was like, "Well, the only thing we have is a Kapua suite." He goes, "Okay, that's about $6,000 a night." And he goes, "Okay, I am way over my head now. I should have made a reservation." And at that point, he looks out the window. He sees Sarah Marshall and his ex-girlfriend. She's coming in. She goes, "Peter, what the hell are you doing here?" "I came to kidnap you." "No, really, what are you doing?"
And like, what an awkward conversation to have in front of her. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's just trying to do a job and like book a room, and then there's two people like, "Oh, this is an awkward encounter." Like, how often would she see that? You know, not very
Exactly.
often.
And it's even more awkward too because then he realizes that Elvis Snow is with her.
Yeah.
And then here he comes. He goes, "Excuse me, miss. Have you seen my sandal? My other sandal. It looks like this one,
The other one
but
to
not
this one.
not an evil one."
Oh God, it's so stupid, John. Honestly,
he isn't stupid. He's a rock star. So I mean, he's just doing what he thought. He's just playing the part, and then then Rachel winds up taking pity on Peter. It's like, look, you know what? You got the crap in the deal here. I'm going to help you out. So basically, she gives him the Kapua suite for free, but he has to clean up after himself and everything because he's not considered a guest. And I like how, excuse me, sir, but your room, the Kapua suite, is ready. And goes, oh, that's right. I have a room at the Kapua suite. And I like how he just holds up his hand like flamboyant a little bit. The Kapua suite. And so, seriously, and then I'm just looking at him like, so you're really going to stay here? I said, yeah, I'm going to stay here. And then at that point, he goes, look, I don't have any money to be staying at the. And he goes, it's okay, it's fine. He goes, just clean up after yourself and everything. You'll be fine. You'll be good to go. And, and just clean up after yourself and have a good time. Okay. He's following Russell Brand, following Elvis Snow, and also Sarah to their rooms as he's talking to his stepbrother.
Yeah.
He goes, and I like how he goes, what are you doing, Peter? Peter, go to your room, Peter.
You don't want to see this, Peter. Yeah.
Just, yeah, I do want to see this.
Yeah, silly. But again, at that point in his like stages of grief or stages of breakup, I guess you could call it, like maybe he was still under the impression that, like things weren't completely over yet. But yeah.
He was just trying to process it. Right.
Yeah, like
and so
they process things differently, huh?
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. It's just himself as a way of processing it and stuff like that. Is like, wait, it's one thing to break up with me. It's another thing to have somebody else, but you're dating a rock star.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go on ahead and try to see if I can ruin your day. And and even though he's hurting, he goes on ahead, follows them. And then then of course you have the brother screaming on his, hang up the phone, Peter, go to your room, And then he goes, then they're both looking at him. Sarah and Elvis is both looking at Peter. And he goes, hi, I'm just letting you know if you need me, I'm at the Kapua suite. And then after that happens, he goes, and then his brother goes, so, did you like that? Did it feel good? Did you like that? He goes, I think I pretty much ruined her day. And then you have this sex montage.
Yes, he definitely ruined her day, mate. She's in every position possible. Day not ruined.
No, not at all. If that's ruining somebody's night, I want to know what it's like to be getting their stuff ruined,
Right? If that's ruining my day, God, I want my days ruined. Oh, God, I can say so many inappropriate things right now. You're on a stream, James.
No, you can't. Because it's going to be audio, too, so it's going to be fine.
Oh, shit. Oh, gosh. Anyway, moving on. What was the next scene after the montage?
So after that, we actually have him going into dinner the next that night too. And Jonas Hill there, he's like, look, Jeremy, I cannot sell you fucking weed. Right. I'm at my job. What does it look like I can do?
Sell it to you tomorrow.
I can sell it to you tomorrow though. But I cannot sell it to you now. I'm at my fucking job. And I just love Jonah Hill in this. This is
I was just about to say, he was so delightful in this. I love Jonah Hill on a good day, but yeah, I just loved him so much in this. He was so great.
He was just so energetic with this movie, with being a fan of Elvis Snow, and just, look, I'm going to put you right here at this table, and you have the best seat in the house. You get to sit right across from Elvis Snow. And
like,
Sarah. And she goes, and I like how they look, like, really? He goes, I didn't want this table. I was trying to sit somewhere else. So they have like this awkwardness about them, and even Jonah Hill's like, dude, are you sure you want to be here? Like, people are getting engaged and shit right now. Like, there's literally someone getting their ring on their finger right now. Are you sure you want to do this? He goes, yeah, I'll be okay. But to have him sit right across from the person that cheated on him and then dumped him, that's rough. That's rough to actually go through.
Yeah.
Even though Jonah is just a diehard Elvis Snow fan, not even having a clue that that's what happened.
I love Jonah Hill in it though. Like, he comes across and he like puts the meal down or something like that, and he's like, I'll just go fuck myself. Like, he just randomly says something super quick and he's like, sorry, what? I don't know what he said after that. Something like, aloha or whatever.
Right.
Hawaiian. Oh, but it's just so funny. He's such a cracker.
It is. This is hands down one of the best comedies that I've seen in a while. That still makes me laugh, which is hard to do.
Yeah.
Because there's a movie that's rarely makes me laugh over and over again, and each time you can actually watch this movie and find something different. Because whenever Peter goes into the pediatric place, I didn't hear him say for the well, this is new. That was my first time ever hearing him say that. I'm like, okay, I didn't pick that up the first time. So it has a rewatchability to that.
Yeah, for sure.
But Peter begins spending time with Rachel and starts to develop feelings for her. Meanwhile, the relationship between Sarah and Aldous begins to falter, much to the discord triggered by the news that Sarah's TV show has been canceled. This is a little bit later. But, I liked how you have this thing where basically, I like how Peter's going through the whole entire hotel, like the next morning, and he's kind of depressed. And then you have the guy who sneaks in the cocktail, and, and he goes, I picked this up a little bit for you. Just have like a little extra kick. Okay, thank you. And I'm like, oh, that is so sweet. The staff is like super friendly in Hawaii. It makes me want to go to Hawaii.
I know. They're really good not even wingmen, just like comforters after a breakup, are they? Even at the bar, I loved when he was like getting like sloshed at the bar just after that dinner scene, and he's got the banana and he's like
yeah, he's like, look at me, I'm Miranda from 66.
Yeah, I fuck everybody. And he's got the banana and he says to the guy,
such a slut.
It's a pretty big one, isn't it, buddy? We don't know about that. So bad. Oh, so bad. So anyway, sorry, I'm cutting back into
No. Yeah, that scene makes me laugh though too. There's like those little moments, and then also too, you also have this happy couple that just got married as well.
Happy. Mm-hmm.
The poor guy's a nervous couple. And he's, oh, my wife, oh, my ball and chain. I'm like, poor guy. But
too funny.
then you have this other scene that plays out though too, where he now decides he wants to take surfing lessons.
Oh yes.
But from Paul Rudd.
Yes.
And he's like, okay, man, come on, I'll teach you how to surf. He puts Peter on the surfboard. He's laying there flat. He goes, come on, get up. Okay, you're doing too much.
The less you do, the more you do. I love that quote.
Wiki.
Do less. No, do more. No, do less.
Now you're just laying there. You'll get the hang of it.
Oh, I love it. I love him. Paul Rudd, another person another one who like does not have to try, and he's funny. Like whether or not he's speaking, like there's dialogue or not, his expressions are just so goddamn funny. I love it. Too funny.
Like my other favorite thing is like when life gives you lemons, sometimes you have to say fuck the lemons. Yes. And then there's also, if you get bitten by a shark, you're not just gonna give up surfing, are you? And then Peter's like, yeah, probably.
Oh gosh. I'm skipping ahead a bit, but I love the part where Aldous goes surfing as well, and he gets that like little is it coral or like a bit of the board in his shin there?
Yeah. And
we saw it in the trailer, and you and I mock each other over it all the time. But I love when Paul's like, oh, not Paul Rudd. What's his name in the show? Chuck. When he's like, you from London? You sound like I'm from London. London. And he completely mocks him.
Right? Because Aldous is like, excuse me, mate, but I am bleeding very hard right now.
I'm bleeding out right now.
Could you please call the front desk? Because you sound like you're from London.
Oh, so good. I love it.
It really is. But also too, there's also another thing that he does too that makes him come on out. Oh, the weather outside is weather. Like I can quote Paul Rudd's character all day long because he just has some of the funniest lines, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, Peter winds up spending time with Rachel and starts to develop feelings for her. And of course, he thinks that he's into her, that she's into him and everything. And everybody on the island is like, no, dude, she's not into you. She's just doing this to be nice to you and being a friend to you. And that's it.
Yeah.
Because, no, man, I'm telling you that we went on a date. No, she went on a charity event for you
Mm,
because of the fact that you're going through a lot. There's also
yeah.
that one scene where he's crying on the very top floor and somebody's complaining because he's crying.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Okay, I'll keep it what did he say? I'll keep it quiet down here or something like that.
Well, he said,
Which
"Yeah, there's this little old lady. She's crying, and
yeah.
um, I don't know what's wrong with her. I'm really worried about her." Peter, yeah, you're on the very top floor. Oh, I'll keep it down.
Yeah, that was it. I'll keep it down.
And then,
Yeah.
then even whenever he's talking to one of the Samoan people on the thing too, he goes, "Look, man, I know you loved her, but it's time to get a new show. It's kind of like The Sopranos.
Yeah, it's over.
It's over, man." Then you
Yeah.
also have the confrontation between, you know, the Rachel's ex-boyfriend and stuff like that too. That's on the beach and stuff like that, and also too the cocktail guy who snuck it in and goes, "Hey, man, you gave me a free cocktail, thank you." Because and all of a
Yeah.
sudden he just hits Peter for
Yeah.
no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
and
like,
then there's
"You
also yeah,
were back there." When she was, like, trying to, yeah, confront him, and, uh I'm jumping ahead a little bit again, but I
no,
really
let's
love
go.
that when we get after, like, after all those scenes that when Peter does try and get her, well, not try and get her back, but he tries to prove to her that, like, he did love her or does, and he goes and gets her topless pic, that she said, "You can't take that off the wall, like, he'll kill you, he'll actually kill you," and he went and got it for her. I thought that was really sweet too. That was really good.
That just shows you that Peter was the type of guy that was actually going to take things into his hands and try to do the right thing because that's who he is.
Yeah.
And even at the dinner with Aldous and Sarah, he goes, "You know what? I can't do what you do because I'm not you. That's what you do. That's not what I do." Because he goes, "Man, if I were you, you could have both of them."
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you could pull that off, but not me.
Yeah.
You know. So I like how Peter draws the line. He goes, "Look, man, I don't have it in me to just sleep with anybody."
Mm. And I think at that point he'd realized that there was nothing left between him and Sarah. Like he didn't he was starting to see all those, I guess, red flags now
Right.
with her. Yeah, so I think he'd had that realization. Like maybe he does want to him, and I'm not saying that he doesn't, but with Sarah, yeah, it was never going to work. Like he didn't have that. When you get burnt, like it's hard for you to trust again. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Exactly.
yeah,
Because I always say like this, you already know what's going to happen. The person didn't change. Even if you want to give it another try, you're just relying based off of nostalgia between you and that person. So it's
that's
just going to be the
exactly
same
what it
outcome.
is. Yeah, 100%. And like, yeah, I feel that even now, like with people who, um, have done wrong or whatnot by me. Like I'm still their friend because I don't like confrontation and I don't like drama, but I will never be the same with that person again. Do you know what I mean? Like I will never have
Right.
that trust. And you can try and put the pieces back together and they might stick with sticky tape, but you know that they're so fragile that it's not very good.
No.
Anyway. It's
But
gone a
no,
little bit off the deep end and not on the funny
no,
side of things. So sorry about that.
no. I like the conversation. I like how it's going because because this film is relatable. I mean, it feels like it's a normal conversation. It actually feels like how people would actually handle a breakup and everything, and the emotional damage through everything, and then try to pull yourself out of it, though too. So it has relatability to that point where I think we can have this conversation.
Yeah.
But another thing that it winds up happening too is this: you actually have another scene where Aldous is over there singing "Inside of You." You also have Jonah Hill just worshiping the ground that he's on and everything too.
Yeah.
It's like inside of you.
Yeah, I love how he mocked it. Inside of you. Like he went really high. Oh, I was mocking it for like so long last night. Oh, I thought it was great. So good.
And then, finally you had that other scene with Jonah and him where he's like, "Hey man, uh,
I give
you
you my
know,
mixtape.
yeah, let me give you my mix. Let me give you my demo
Mm.
and everything." He goes, "Okay, thanks." And he just I like how Elvis just goes on ahead and just throws it down like it was nothing.
Yeah, I love when he asked him, "Hey man, did you listen to my mixtape?" And he's like, "Yeah, I did." And then I moved on with my life.
My life.
God, it's so brutal.
It really
Oh,
is. And then, Peter begins spending time with, like I said. Meanwhile, the relationship between Sarah and Aldous begins to falter. Much of the discord is triggered by the news that Sarah's TV show has been canceled, and that Aldous is about to embark on a world tour with his rock group. If been in sorrow for 18 months, Peter is later forced to move to the room next to Sarah's after Dakota Fanning and her team took booked the suit.
yep.
So,
And they have that competition of moan off.
well, that's a little bit later, but this scene is where Aldous winds up telling him, "Well, that's just too bad. I'm gonna go on an 18-month tour." Just, "Well, you didn't tell me anything about that." He goes, "I just did."
I love that he's like, after that, I'm pretty sure it was in that scene. She's like, "Well, when were you going to tell me this?" And he's like, I just told you now." And she's like, "Well, that's not the same thing as when were you going to?" And he's like, "Well, I didn't tell you I have genital herpes because it's not inflamed." Like, oh my gosh.
And then I like how she tells him too, because, "By the way, your music sucks." He goes, "I slept with the housekeeper."
So funny. I also really found it shocking that that Sarah had done that a year ago, that she'd slept with him. Like, you would think that she would have this like guilt sooner. Do you know what I mean? Like, then
Right. Because
yeah.
when Peter's over there surfing, and you think that they're gonna have this nice little bonding time between Aldous, where basically he's trying to level with Aldous and
Mm.
everything too at this moment, because he's also healing at this moment too. And it's like, "Oh, okay, so they're bonding a little bit." And then he goes, "Yeah, I was in a 4 or 5 year relationship with Sarah." He goes, "Well, mate, you got one on me." I'm like, "Whoa, okay, so she cheated on him and
Mm.
everything. Wait, a year? That,
Yeah.
and not feeling any guilt for what she's done? That's really messed up."
Yeah. Yeah. I was really surprised by that.
Then, this is also another thing that got me, was the whole entire montage with the shirt, where basically Peter flashes back to everything that Sarah got him too, with the and he never liked anything that she bought him, even whenever she bought him the hat. And the girl at the bar's like, "Oh, cool hat. Really? No, it sucks."
Yeah.
But then you also have Mila Kunis, which I love because she motivates Peter and she believes in Peter, and with that
Yeah.
whole entire Dracula thing too, that he plays at the bar.
That was one of my favorite scenes, I think, like the moment that she fell in love with him. Like, you can see her. I love the chemistry that they had, for starters, but Mila Kunis, she has these gorgeous, like, alien puppy dog eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, these big, beautiful eyes. And the way that she uses them in flirty roles as well, like Friends with Benefits or whatever that one was. But in this, I really liked how it wasn't really like a flirt. It was like a realization of love, like she was like, I don't want to say fluttering her eyelashes, because that sounds like she was being flirty, but it was just the like slow up and down looks that she was giving to show, wow, like I really feel I dig this guy. Yeah, I think she's a great actress, and I really loved them scenes where he was playing his Dracula music, and at first she's like, haha, this is hilarious, like cheering him on. And then, as I said, sorry, I think I'm getting sick. And then, yeah, as I said, during that performance, that she got them eyes of like, wow, like I think I like this guy. It was really good expressions on her face. I thought it was great.
They do. And I think it's just the subtleness of her character and making us believe that she is falling for her, that she is falling for him, and you can believe it. And I like how at this moment Peter is now forgetting all about Sarah and concentrating just on Rachel herself. Especially
Yeah.
whenever they jump off a cliff together, they wind up having that little romantic thing in the
Yeah.
water and stuff like that too. And I just like the subtleness of this film, where nothing feels rushed, nothing feels forced. Everything just feels natural.
Yeah.
So,
Even the
I
part
really
at
like
the
this
end
moment.
there where he confronts her and says, and there was a funny line in this too. I text Taco it because I thought it was really funny. So he confronts Rachel about saying, Sarah and I had a moment. I just wanted to see if there was anything there. We had 10 to 15 seconds of oral sex on me. I thought that was so funny. I cracked up at that. Like, specifically 10 to 15 seconds.
When I seen that, yeah, go on. Sorry.
but that scene there, you know, like obviously she was upset about that because he kind of like you could say cheated on her because there was something building there, and then he sort of was like, "Well, I'm going to go back and see if you know my ex still has anything for me," which is a really dog act, in my opinion. Anyway, some people might not consider that cheating, but I mean, I do. If you're moving on with somebody else and you still want to
Yeah.
have a go with, and like that to me is still you're not emotionally in it. Yeah, so that's still going to be very hurtful to Rachel. But anyway, that moment there, she said to him, like, don't talk to me again. I want nothing to do with you, blah, blah, blah. And then when she was in the crowd at the end and she said, why didn't you even call me? Like, why didn't you ever, you know, come see me or whatever? He said, and this is one of the things that I find so beautiful, like, men actually do listen sometimes. He said, you didn't want me to, you told me not to. And I was like, how respectful is that? That even though he wanted her and he was probably hurting because he did want to be with her, what she said, he did. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
he respected her
Wishes.
enough. Yeah, her wishes enough. Yeah. I thought that was a really good scene too.
That's what I like too, to be honest with you. Hey, baby. Thank you for tuning in.
Hi. I'm not getting the comments on my thing.
But that's weird. But yeah, but I have to say, I like the whole entire Dracula bit, especially at the end where you actually see that comical aspect of it. And he said, you know what? Who would have thought that this would actually be a comedy? I didn't even think of this whenever I was first doing it, and then it just made sense. But I also like the fact too that he waited a couple of months and then just focusing on what he wanted to do.
Yeah, on himself. Yeah.
On himself, which is actually perfect. And then I like how he's on the piano, he's banging, goes, "Go see a psychiatrist. I don't want to see a psychiatrist."
Yeah.
And I love that. And then you also have that, like you said, whenever Aldous and all them are having the competition with each other, having sex and everything too. That was funny too inside the bedroom. And Aldous is over there like, really? I'm not even into this.
Yeah, I don't even want this right now. Yeah, that's funny.
And then I like how she calls him out his own BS though too. What Sarah does, she's like, "This is gibberish. This is Hindu. This is Greek. This stuff don't even make sense."
Yeah.
Because remember when he goes, "Hey, do you want to drink something?" He goes, "Oh no, mate. You see, right here. This is actually 3 years sober, right here. So,
Yeah,
no.
7 years sober on his neck. Yeah.
And if I take one of those cocktails, I'll just be a loose cannon everywhere." And then you see him drink the cocktail later on, talking about being sober.
Yeah, he already is. Oh,
And
God.
And then he's like, then of course, Elvis was like, "Well, mate, it's been a pleasure, but I'm gonna go my way, you go your way." And he leaves and goes off to do his world tour. Yeah, Peter that goes on ahead, and they have that oral sex moment where nothing happens. and then
Yeah.
and then I like how one of the guys explains. He goes, "Well, you know that he did stop her in like midway. So therefore, you don't want to know how hard." What? But
Oh,
I like
how
he was trying to defend
cruel.
Peter, though, even though he doesn't know Peter, but for
Yeah.
4 days, and these people feel like family to them, though. That's
Yeah.
really cool.
Yeah, I agree. The camaraderie like between the staff and Peter and just like random guests and Peter. It was really good. It was fun.
Okay, one last thing before we wrap up too is this. Okay, there's this one scene with Elvis where he's wearing a ugly shirt that Sarah bought him,
Mm.
and he accidentally spills wine on his shirt. He
The
goes,
wine
"Oh,
on it.
bloody hell. Take my eyes, but not the shirt."
Yes. I love that Jonah Hill's character, I can't remember his name right now. He comes over straight away and he's like, "I saw it from across 4 meters away," and he's like napkining him down. God, that doesn't even make sense. Sorry about that, my English. And he's like getting the napkin and wiping him down.
Matt's is gonna be mad at us tomorrow. I'll tell you that. We do not sound like that.
Oh gosh, sorry guys.
But there's also another part that I thought was funny though too, where it's like, "Hey, Aldous, you might want to take a look at my record because you might feel bad for me." It's like, "Oh my God, I was so rude to that poor person that was waiting on me. I should have listened to his album."
Yes.
He goes, "Is that an
Is that how I
impression of me?"
sound? Yeah, is that really how it sounds? Oh dear. So
but
good.
yes, Forgetting Sarah Marshall's hands down one of my favorite comedies that I recommend people checking out, especially if they're going through something or through a breakup or they just want to laugh. This is a movie that I feel like is high on my radar because of the fact that it helped me get through some rough times, but also too, it's just a fun and enjoyment to just relax and just have this comfort movie on.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely one for both, as you said. Like after you've been through a breakup, this is a perfect one to give you hope that, the right one is out there, not someone that's fake or forced. But it's also for other people too, who are in good relationships and just want to have a laugh, because it's definitely what I got out of it, a laugh. Like, yeah, I thought being in the 2000s, like maybe watching it in 2023, it wouldn't be very funny because, there's certain movies that do land later. Step
Mhm.
Brothers, for example, Anchorman. That's the stuff. Tropic Thunder for me. That's my killer, my go-to. That stuff will always be funny to me. But there are some comedies, and I can't think of any off the top of my head right now, that you can go back and watch from the 2000s that are like, oh, that was so in the 2000s and should have stayed there. And this wasn't one of them. As you said, it's definitely one that you can rewatch in 2023 for sure.
It's definitely aged very well for it to be close to, well, about 10 years old now, if you think about it. And it's
Yeah.
definitely aged well. And, Step Brothers is actually a good one that you mentioned. That was actually one of my other favorite ones to watch. But yeah, hands down, one of my favorite comedies. But that being said, wow, I'm knocking everything over. Oh, um, so my question is this: so what do you have going on your channel, right?
Yeah, I've got a lot of stuff happening at the moment. I just came from a Fortnite gaming live stream, so I do a little bit of gaming over there. And then I did a live reaction last night to the Daryl Dixon spin-off that's come from The Walking Dead. So my live reaction for that will hopefully be up today. And then I also chat with my buddies about the One Piece live action as well. So we did a little chat about that with a panel. And that was a lot of fun because I had guests who had never watched the anime before. And then I had gods who just love the anime One Piece, the anime version of it, sorry. And they've watched all 1,100, I think it is, episodes. So yeah, it was good to hear both perspectives from, first time fans, and then also from, hardcore fans that watch every single episode of it. So yeah, that was a really good chat too. So that's what's over on my channel at In the Front Row YT.
And one last thing. So next week or the week after, Rossi will be on the show with me. We're going to be talking about why do we love gangster movies. So this could be like a deep conversation. This is going to be part of my intermission series that I'm doing. And matter of fact, think of intermission as basically like this: you're waiting in line for a ticket for your movie, and you're having a conversation between one of your friends. So it might be about the Avenged Sevenfold album, or it might be comfort movies. It might be about why do we like gangster movies or whatever. So that is something that I'm taking into a concept with. I'm going to try and release those episodes on a Tuesday, so it'll be kind of like a blockbuster kind of vibe where you're in a brand new movie, and therefore it gets pushed out on a Tuesday because that's where movie releases just release on. So that's basically how I'm going to try and release those. So yeah, that's what I have going on for now on my channel, but stay tuned for more. And that's it. I hope everyone has a great and safe night. Thank you so much, Jamie. This is a pleasure. I've been wanting to do this review for a long time. I'm glad that we finally got to do this. So don't forget to go on ahead, follow Jamie at all her social medias. It'll be listed in the descriptions below. And always until next time, guys, have a great and safe night. Catch you on the next one.